Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Let's Get It On. We've got a very special guest in the studio this evening for you because he debuted in 2011 and he went on to record at Nashville and Abbey Road Studios. And he's somebody who's giving us a musical first for British music history because this has never been done before. And he's giving you a musical advent calendar, and we'll talk about that just in a minute. But this is none other than the brilliant artist Nick Capaldi, and he's giving us 12 Christmas Kisses. Nick, hi.
Hello there. Hello.
Oh, now then, young man, tell us all about this new album because this is groundbreaking, isn't it? What made you do it?
Oh, I absolutely love Christmas. As most people remember, their Christmas childhood's been a magical kind of experience, and I've always wanted to put that into music. I didn't know how I was going to do it because I thought, how do you do, around about 12 songs about the same subject? So I started breaking it into sections of family Christmas parties, people that you may have lost that you think about at Christmas. It's all different there's something for everyone really on there. All different styles again, just like the last album. But this one seems to be getting a lot more feedback. I'm getting feedback from people saying they're just playing it constantly on a loop, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, that is brilliant. But because it is so different, and as you say, you've got all sorts of different genres going on. I mean, I made some notes when I was listening. You range from Slade to the 80s, to kind of all different genres. It reminded me of the Beatles. It reminded me of
Wow.
so many different artists. How on earth, how long did it take you to do this?
9 months.
I'm not surprised. That's almost a month a song, isn't it?
Yeah. It was crazy doing Christmas music in February, and we thought we'd have plenty of time, but it really did take a long time. There's so many session musicians on this album that I had to wait until people were free and available to come in. And then, of course, I really wanted Aled Jones. So I was talking to his management and they said, well, give us a listen to what you're thinking. And they said, yep, we can definitely imagine him singing this. So we're going to put it to him. And that came off as well. So we've got the great Aled Jones on one track.
Yeah, I've listened to that. And you've got so many people collaborating on this from all walks of the, musical celebrity, haven't you? It's incredible. How did you get them all together?
Luckily, some are friends. We've got Sam Brown was actually on the album. She plays ukulele.
Yeah.
She actually brought 5 ukuleles with her for this one track, and they're all on the song. That's a song called Tinseltown, and one of the ukuleles was George Harrison's.
Oh wow!
That was absolutely amazing for me. Because I said, "Oh, can I hold it?" She goes, "Yeah."
And heirloom, don't break it.
In a way, George Harrison's DNA is on the album.
Well, it's a very bold move for an artist to make, and obviously there's loads of Christmas songs, but I can imagine this is gonna have longevity. I think people are going to hook onto some of these songs because the lyrics are just beautiful. I mean, you seem to have done it so effortlessly. 9 months for 12 songs that are all so different, and different messages will resonate with different people.
Thank you. Yeah, I suppose you can make a baby in 9 months. So I've made this Christmas baby.
This Christmas, 12 Christmas Kisses and a new baby that's just been launched. Now it's already out, isn't it? And as you say, it's getting lots of reviews. Now, when I was listening to this, I was kind of thinking, you could have an advent calendar for this, and you could open one a day and treat yourself to listen and really listen to the Christmas message that is in there, and then tell our listeners what you've actually done with this album because it's very unique.
Oh, thank you. But it suddenly just came to me. I thought if we had a gatefold sleeve and opened it up, and you could maybe have an advent calendar in there, not chocolates, obviously, that would be a very thick vinyl. So I thought 12 doors for 12 Christmas kisses. And so I asked the manufacturers about it, and they said, oh, that's never heard of that being done before. So that's another first. So he came up with an idea for me. He said, why don't you have little images behind the doors for each song? So I said, that's absolutely genius. So I did it. And so it says along the top when you open it up, see if you can match the songs to the drawings.
Oh, there's a puzzle in there as well then for us all.
Yeah.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, here it is from the little merch stand.
Oh, wow, look at that.
So all 4 of our dogs are on the cover there as well. So there's the advent calendar.
And there's all the doors.
Yeah.
Wow, that's got to be a collector's piece. This is just incredible.
Yeah, session photos and I actually dressed up as Santa. I had to buy a Santa suit just to do the hands and the scroll here on the back.
And that's out in stores now, is it, Nick?
Yes, yeah, it's all available through our Grinning Dog Records, our own label. And you can find that link through nickcapaldi.com, where we've got the CDs there as well, the little CD version. So
they're all out. Well, I'm sure it's going to fly. Wouldn't it be great if you got a number one? Which song would you like to be number one from that album? I know you've got a single out, and we're going to listen to that in a minute from the album.
Or any of them, but the December song I think would be really good. Louise Marshall sings the lead on that. This is something also that I've never done before, is have somebody else sing the lead vocal on one of my songs. But I'm really influenced by the Phil Spector's Christmas album, and of course you get the Ronettes on there, and Bobby Socks and Blue Jeans. So it's just absolutely darling love. And so I thought I wanted to go for that kind of thing and just have a couple of songs where I'm not singing the lead. So that's a really good.
That would be the. I mean, they're just all simply beautiful, and you do kind of lead us into the Christmas period, don't you? With each song gets a little bit nearer to that Christmas day. With the last one, On This Night, which nearly made me cry. It was so beautiful, and you've got a lot of children on this album as well, a lot of choirs.
Yeah, and they were so sweet as well, so funny. I think they came in August. And I said, are you looking forward to hearing your vocals when it's all finished and mixed? And the smallest one said to me, I'm looking forward to not having to do Christmas songs in August.
Oh, very blunt and very to the point. So where were they? Who was the choir? Where were they from?
They are from Bournemouth Way. They're called Unite Stage Academy. And they were fantastic. They were such fun. So when we came to do the music video and we got to go and film Alid on stage to mime to the track and that he recorded, I thought, oh, we must get the children on stage as well. So we took them to the Allendale Centre and they grubbed up their faces like the old Oliver musical and were and everything, and so they're in the music video as well.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, we're going to have to watch that music video. Now then, you've got a single, which is Come On In and Have a Dance. And, you know, I listened to that and it was kind of like Slade. It reminded me of the 80s Christmas songs that we used to have. So should we have a listen to that one? And then you can tell us what the inspiration behind it was.
Calling all festive friends, I want you, and especially you, to move your bodies to the rhythm. Come on. Hang a bottle on the Christmas tree. We gotta get ready to turn off the telly, 'cause they're coming at 3:30. We got the booze in and the news in that the mother-in-law's bringing a day. And on the count of Uncle Terry, who always gives it welly, we're gonna be up till late. Come on.
You must have had fun writing that, Nick, because it's such a fun song.
I really did, and mostly fun because I've never written in that style before, and I've recently really got into Chaz and Dave.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really wanted to do one of those kind of Cockney rock and roll family party songs. So it was really good to delve into that. There's another one a bit like it on the album called "I Only Have Mince Pies for You."
I know that was another one. I ticked them two in a sort of similar vein, really. Very happy, clappy sort of songs, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there has never been a British artist that's done a Christmas album before. And I know a lot of artists probably, everybody clambers for that number one spot, don't they, at Christmas time. So that it's like a very competitive market to enter into.
Yeah, the Linton Guest from the band Love Affair wrote the press release, and he's the one who told me. So I've been doing lots of research here, and I can't find another album by a British artist that's all original Christmas music. There's usually at least one cover on there, or a rehash of like Silent Night or something. He said I just can't find one. Not put out properly. We just can't find anything. And worldwide, there only seems to be Sia, who had one in 2017, all originals.
Wow. So it's quite a feat and quite a brave move for you as an artist, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't realise it was such a feat, really, until fellow artists that were on the album said to me, well done, because it's hard enough writing one festive song. It wasn't really that difficult. Just the themes and the lyrics were... Yeah. But what's this one going to be about?
Did you take yourself into that moment then of different people that you know and different things that you've witnessed over the Christmas period to write them?
Yeah, mostly like harking back to my childhood and just daydreaming about Christmas, really. And I put these YouTube kind of screensaver things where crackly fire. In February, I thought, am I going to get into the mood here? So I was putting those on the TV and just sat there with my writing away. It was great fun. Lots of wordplay in this album.
Yes. A little bit tongue-in-cheek sometimes as well, isn't it? Some of the lyrics in there.
It is, yeah. I managed to get Noel Prize instead of Nobel Prize into one of the songs.
Now, you alluded earlier to your own record label. What was the decision in having your own record label and your own and doing your own production in your own studio now? Because, going to Nashville, being at Abbey Road, what made you wanted to sort of bring it home and kind of, do you think it gave you the freedom that you wanted?
It does, yeah. It's great to do everything in the house because we run a recording studio and we've got our office here for the label as well, which we put my stuff out on. So it's just great to do it all under one roof, really.
Yeah. Do you have help with it though, Nick? Because it's no mean feat, is it, to do all the publicity, let alone produce an album? And I know you had a really good producer working with you and a sound engineer, a vocal engineer working with you, but you've still got to bring all these people together, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. My wife plays a massive role in my musical career and with the studio. She does all the admin. She's the brains behind the whole thing.
Is that Grace?
Grace, yeah, Grace.
Grace, hello, Grace. Good girl.
She tells me what I'm doing. Like she makes sure I get up in time. She goes, right, you've got an interview today at 10, then you've got another one so make sure you're ready.
Bless you.
She organises the musicians to come round and does all that. And she even did worked on the artwork, the layout and everything. So I don't know how to do that. So I just sit with her at the computer and say, can you do that there? Can you make that look like a Christmas tree? Can you? And she does it.
The musicality for some of the tracks, I mean, obviously you did all of those as well. How much input did you have from the other collaborators that you've got? Because you've got some amazing collaborators on this album.
Oh, there's so many on this album. Robbie McIntosh, who used to be in the Pretenders and play with Paul McCartney, he's on it. BJ Cole, who's played pedal steel for all the greats, Elton John, Sting, Liam Gallagher. So what will quite often happen is I'll have a little piece that I've played on the keyboard, for instance, with the brass. I did a lot of that on a little 80s Yamaha keyboard that I've got. And then I just show it to them because I can't write music dots or anything, but I've got a friend who does. So I play what the melody is in my head. And my friend helped me write all the dots for the brass people that come around. So I'd get a few takes of what I wanted. And then I'd just say, can you now just play whatever you feel and sometimes you get a little bit of magic come out of that.
Well, it's incredible because Gilbert O'Sullivan came to mind as well on one of your songs, because he was a really prolific storyteller in his songs. And that's what you've done. You've told us a story in each one of these, haven't you?
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of feedback coming back about that, actually, saying that
Is there? Yeah.
Of the lyrics. I mean, one song, Tinseltown, is about somebody who loves Christmas and they did with their partner, but they've lost their partner this year. So it's not based on anyone particular, but I just thought I wanted to kind of cover that some people might be going through that. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's a bit sad. And I said to Grace, maybe I shouldn't do that on a Christmas album. And she said, no, because some people have got that story. So
yeah, they have. A lot of people have lost. I mean, this seems to be quite a year for people. I know a lot of artists and friends of mine that have lost mums or dads or somebody. And it is a tough time, isn't it, for people at Christmas, because everything seems to be heightened.
Yeah, especially, and if they really loved Christmas, like the couple in this song are supposed to have done, but he's kind of saying that I'll be back next year to join in Tinseltown, because it lives those American communities that the whole street has to do Christmas, and they all rally around with each other and say, right, you got to, like in Christmas with the Cranks, you got to put up Frosty, I was in that kind of place. But that one year that that's the one house without any lights on. It's all sad.
Oh.
But the album's not a downer. It's a positive.
No.
The chorus is supposed to be the chap's wife singing back to him, saying, "Don't let your heart down. I'll still be around." So
so she's going to wait for him.
Yeah, she wants to be remembered positively at Christmas.
So that's hope. There's a message of hope in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's listen to another song now, because we're going to ramble away with time. I know we will. So Toys and Lights. Was that one that you did with the children's choir as well? Because they're on there, aren't they? Toys and Lights.
Yes, and there's some solo children on there as well, which were actually the children of the guy who did the strings on the album, Anthony Clark. So Rosie and Willow, they did that perfectly. It was great.
Oh, wow. How old are they?
Oh, I think they're are they 7 and 9 around now? I don't quite know, but I think they're about that age. But they did it so well.
They did. They sounded like professional. Yeah, well, I mean, again, children are very natural, aren't they? They just are, and that sometimes is the key, just to be who you are.
Yes, yeah, it's really cute. You've got to have that on a Christmas album.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a listen to Toys and Light, and Rosie and Willow. Here you go. This is your song that is on this album, and it's beautiful. Let's just have a listen to it.
Wake up! It's Christmas.
Magic morning, just to see your face. Run towards your stocking hung above the fireplace. Let's see, baby, what Santa's left for you.
Aled Jones, Nick, how did you convince him to be on the album? Because he's got such a distinctive voice, hasn't he? To lend his voice to this special album, I think was quite special, quite unique to do.
Oh, I still can't believe it, to be honest. That's another part of my Christmas childhood is Aled Jones's voice. And never would I have thought that I would have written a track for him to sing on. It's just I have these mad ideas. My engineer, he always laughs and he says, "You do come up with these mad ideas, but they do pull off." So, I just sat there and thought, I wonder. And I thought I found his manager's details and emailed, and I thought I wasn't going to hear anything back because a couple of weeks went by, and suddenly I got an email, and they said that they'd take a listen. So they said, "What are you thinking?" So I sent over this track, and it's funny because I had to do a guide vocal in that kind of style. So that's good. My range.
Was that challenging?
Yeah, it was. I said, "Please bear in mind, I didn't sing in that style, but this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for." And they said, his manager said, "I can picture him singing this." So. And then he agreed, so it was fantastic. So he was busy on tour as well, and he managed to fit it in. He couldn't come to the studio, so he had to record it elsewhere. And then we went to see him at one of his shows, and we did a bit of filming for the music video.
Incredible. And isn't it lovely that these collaborations happen between you all? Because we all, on the outside of the music industry, we all hear these infights and this competition, but actually sometimes you all just work and play together, and you bring out something special in each other when you do so.
Oh, collaboration is such a fun thing, and bouncing ideas around and just having a great time with it all. Really, it's just I'm so proud of it, and to have Aled on there.
Well, I think you should be, and I think at this point we ought to have a listen to that, shouldn't we? So Aled is he on one or is he on two? Because he's on Marley's Yule.
He's just on Marley's Yule.
Just on Marley's Yule. Well, let's have a listen to, because this again, the beginning of this is. Where did you record the beginning story bit to this? Where did that come from?
That's a local DJ.
Is it really?
Fantastic local accent, and I had to ask him to do it. He's a chap called Mike Streeter, and he was so pleased to be asked, bless him. So I wrote that part for him, and it was supposed to be someone from Dickens' times, just saying, because with this song I wanted to explore Jacob Marley's story, because
yes.
Hear about Scrooge, and I thought, well, what's Marley up to these days? So the children were singing to Jacob Marley, and Jacob Marley's singing back.
I know.
Who is Aled? So Aled is Jacob Marley.
It is incredible. It's a beautiful song as well. So let's have a listen to Marley's Yule. And this is for you, Mike Streeter. This is your listening in. I hope you're listening because it's brilliant.
You love that.
Well, they say Ebenezer's a crook. Huh, they should have met Marley. Now, he was a piece of work. Every inch the miserable miser as old Scrooge, but surely the master of greed and ignorance. They used to walk this very path to the exchange, faces blacker than the night. And now there's only one who walks amongst us, with a face still as black as the night. Still, they say there's good and bad in everybody. I wonder if that's the same for old Marley. I suppose only his ghost could tell us now.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Marley, wherever you are. May your spirits be forgiven, may you travel far.
I never knew what love can do, and suddenly chains formed at my feet. Now I can't leave. I can never leave.
Is your penance, Mr. Marley, for eternity?
For Marley, the tale would not end well. He could not shed the chains that bound him, but he saved his friend from a similar end, and that deserves hope.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Marley, wherever you are. May your spirits be forgiven, may you travel far.
On earth, my time I made mine in 7 years. I only dream of tears that I can't cry. I can't buy back time.
So Nick, 14 years in the business. What's the thing? What's changed for you over those 14 years?
I think I've developed my songwriting to the point where I'm really happy with it. When I listen back to some of my older albums, I think, oh, I cringe at points, thinking I would have done that differently, or I wouldn't have done that, or the end's not good enough. There's not a good enough intro. So I've learned a lot over the years how to do that, and with playing live as well, because I get very nervous about playing live until I'm actually on stage. So honing a few of those skills over the years.
It is quite nerve-wracking, isn't it? And people would think you would take to it like a duck to water, but sometimes it's nice to be behind a track musically or vocally or writing it, but to actually perform it. And I'm always amazed at how many artists forget their own lyrics because nerves take over, don't they?
Oh, they do, yeah. If your mind wanders like mine does, I've had to make up lyrics on the spot sometimes. And if I'm playing somewhere where people don't know me, it's absolutely fine, because they've not got a clue. And I come off stage and so I say to Grace, "Oh, I totally messed up that middle eight," and she said, "Nobody would know. Don't worry."
No, they don't. No, your audience are just captivated by listening to you. And so, what's been your highlight, do you think, in those 14 years?
This really is the highlight, just purely because of the response I'm getting. I've had great responses in the past, but this seems to be crazy. People that I don't know are commenting, saying that they're playing it back to back on and they absolutely love it. And I thought, what is it about this album? So I spoke to a few friends, and they said, I think this album is more accessible in the way that it's very commercially there. It's just, you can put it on in the background and you don't have to really concentrate. Like my other albums are a bit, someone said to me the other day, your last album was like the musician's kind of album, where it's it delves into I don't know, not darker spaces, but it's a bit more arty, I think.
Yeah.
Where this one is just lots of happy tunes going on, jolly stuff, and lots of...
Which is what we need, don't we, after all the news and the doom and gloom that's going around at the moment. I mean, it is an album that you can just put on in the car. So if you're travelling home for Christmas, or you're going, to meet your relatives, if you want to feel good, this album is one to just put on the playlist and just listen to while you're driving.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's all very positive as well, because you get people that do kind of sarcastic Christmas songs about like the Darkness. I love their Christmas song. It's so great and so funny. But of course they start singing about gifts that you despise and having to see people, and I just wanted to do one that was, it's very twee, the album, I think, really.
Very twee.
Yeah, twee and cute. It's all the kind of like happy bits of Christmas are in there. So
Well, I think you've created something that is, as you say, very different, very unique. Each track has got its own feel-good factor to it. And then you've got that beautiful album cover, which again has never been done before. But what a clever idea. You know, the whole thing, just the synchronicity of it all has just kind of happened, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I love working on the artwork is too. When all the music's done, then it's time to concentrate on the artwork and coming up with ideas and
Yes.
designing the labels in the middle of the vinyl. I love all that stuff.
That's a lot of work, isn't it? You know,
It's
a lot of work.
You got to keep reading through it to see if all the words are spelled correctly and all that kind of stuff. But me and Grace have a great time doing the artwork, just sat at the computer together, glass of wine.
So do you both work full time in the record label, or do you both have other jobs that you have to do?
Running the studio is our that's our day-to-day job, because the studio is purpose built. It's right outside of our house, facing our house.
Yeah.
We've got no excuse for being late to work.
You roll out of bed and roll into work.
Yeah, but we have an in-house engineer who works, because it's a commercial studio, so other artists come here and use it. So mostly we do the admin for that and
Right.
Look after all the vintage gear that goes into it, and of course I get to use it then to make my own records.
Of course you do. I bet it's like an Aladdin's cave in there, full of all different bits and pieces that you need to use. Well, we better listen to another track from this song. Now, I think, what one would you like to play next from the album, Nick?
Let's play the funny one. I only have mince pies for you.
I only have mince pies for you. Oh, right, okay. Let me just make a note of that so I get them in the right order. I only have mince pies for you. The mind boggles as to what inspired this, but let's listen to it first.
I only have mince pies for you. Now come on, baby, can't you see that I would never look in my old blackbird? This year it's just you and me. Who's it? What's her name? The one who played the silly games. Oh, what was her name? She's on my list of naughties. Anyway, who's to say there would ever come a day we'd say our goodbyes? If it isn't you, it isn't Christmas. I only have mince pies for you. Now come on, baby, can't you see that I would never look in my old black book? This year it's just you and me. This Christmas love story goes out to all of you. When you say I love you, say it true. So let them know, and you hold them close all year. I wish the whole world Christmas cheer. I only have mince pies for you.
spill the beans. What inspired I Only Have Mince Pies for You? Is that a take on I Only Have Eyes for You?
Of course, yeah, it is. Yeah. It's funny, a friend of mine said, well, you're surely not going to keep that title. Yeah, it's a working title. And I said, oh, it's funny. I find it funny. It was actually the first title that I came up with, because I actually started the album by writing a list of titles, and they were all funny ones. I was going to do comedy for the whole thing. And that's the only funny title that stayed. The rest of them, when I look back at them, I thought that's such a silly idea. And some were quite a bit rude, actually. So no, I thought I don't want to go down that route. I want to go down this route.
Yeah, I mean, it's again another happy sort of, it's a sing along kind of track, isn't it? I can imagine somebody, some of the Christmas parties now. Some of these tracks are going to be on the playlist for sure. I can guarantee it.
My favourite part of the Mince Pies song is the string instrumental break, because it makes me think of vintage footage of families on sleds going down a hill, all laughing and having fun. It's just it's such a fun, happy instrumental.
And that's what kind of gave me the thought of the Sgt. Pepper album, where that was all very different, and you had different instruments coming in, popping into different tracks at different times, but it all fitted. But it made it kind of that classic, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to replicate some of these songs, I think.
Yeah, I suppose so. Wow, being compared to Sgt. Pepper's is pretty cool.
Well, I kind of, because you listen, when you sort of listen to so many songs, we're always reminded, aren't we? And we're always inspired by other people, other artists, like you were talking about the 60s track that inspired, you as well. We all do that. And we all listen to songs and we think, oh, that just sounds. And then, obviously we had Gilbert O'Sullivan, that storytelling coming in. So all woven through this is a thread of authenticity, I think, for Christmas, which, we all need it, I think.
I think so, yeah. There are so many little bits and bobs to these songs where it would just suddenly stop and go into something else. And it was in my head, but I find it really hard to explain to people about it. So my poor engineer was in the studio saying, oh, I don't get what you mean. How is this going to work? And I remember BJ Cole was sat in the studio, and he played on my last album, and he said something really nice to my engineer. He said, don't worry, because Nick knows what he's doing. I've witnessed it, and he pulls it off in the end. So
well, wasn't that lovely?
Yeah. He said it will all make sense. He said, I have faith in Nick for that. So
well, I think he's quite, is quite, a challenge is when you don't write music yourself, and yet in your head you know exactly how it wants to sound, and you've got that melody, and getting somebody else to understand, and then the added thing of adding a little pop here of something and a little pop there of something.
Yeah,
and you blend it all together
until you get all the musicians on it on that certain bits and bobs. It won't make sense, and that's what was happening. Gareth, our engineer, was saying, well, it's a bit quiet there. All that happens is one long trombone note. And I said, oh, but once so and so's on there and this and that, then it builds up, and you need that long note there. And it's like a puzzle, really. But it's and it's great then when Gareth would say to me, I see now, it makes sense. Yeah, of course, it's got to be like that.
It's a composition. It's a work of art. It's a composition work of art that you've imagined in your head, and you've laid it down. And now, one of the things that I also thought listening to the album was that this could be a theatre play. There is a playwright out there who could weave a whole story around all of these tracks with the individual scenes that you're describing into a play.
That's interesting. Yeah. We could get to the West End.
You could get to the West End, and I thought, yeah, it would. Everyone, like Blood Brothers, all the tracks from Blood Brothers. Well, you actually got the tracks here first, I think, but it's the story behind them all. So you could have little cameos interwoven, with different characters throughout these songs, displaying all those. And I think this would make a fantastic play. And those songs coming to life with actors would be just amazing.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. Maybe we should go into the business of writing a musical together.
Writing a music. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know about that, but the idea is there because I'm quite a visual person. When I listen to songs, in my head, I'm running through the scenes and the scenarios, so I can see, the actors. And I had sort of Blood Brothers in my mind, and I had all these characters coming to life, and the children, and Marley, with Ali. I could just see him dressed up as Marley,
That is very true. When you listen to music, you do paint a picture in your mind. I've never really thought about that before, but that's part of the experience of listening to music, isn't it? Is what it conjures up, and it gives you a certain atmosphere.
Yeah.
Then it
And that-
reminds you of a certain time when you heard it that
Yeah,
first.
and that's what this album, to me anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but to me, I was visualizing all of these characters coming to life. So we better have a listen to one more song, I think, because we've got 10 minutes left. I knew we would run out of time, Nick. What one would you like us to play next?
On This Night would be a lovely one.
On This Night. Yeah, because that's the last one. And that is such a beautiful song because it's like a Christmas Eve, isn't it? A Christmas, the last one.
I felt it was a really good end to the album. It's very peaceful, and it's particularly special for me because I've got my nephew, my 14-year-old nephew, plays bass on this song.
Does he really? Oh, wow. What's his name?
Sol Coughlin.
Soul, well done, because you've done a wonderful piece on this track. It's lovely.
It's his first ever session, but he's absolutely fantastic. He's really mastered the bass. He can play all the Jamiroquai stuff. And I said, right, I want you on one song. Can you come on round? And another first for me is I played drums on that track as well. So we were kind of drum and bass. I've never played drums on my tracks, but I'm not a drummer. So I just had to play for a while, and we picked the best bits and stuff. There's only drums at the end of the song, so I didn't need to go too mad and do all trills or anything like that. The drummer on the whole rest of the album is a chap called Dave Wallace. He's David Essex's drummer.
Ooh, see what I mean? There's all these people, in the background on this collaboration, and they must have had such fun doing it with you as well.
They did, yeah. He doesn't. Dave Wallace actually hates Christmas, but he really enjoyed doing the album.
Did he?
It's funny, yeah. He was doing the Bah Humbug thing, but he's such a great drummer. And I think something that's very, very important to make an album like this is finding, collaborating with the best session musicians you can possibly get. Because I'm a huge fan of the Wrecking Crew that Brian Wilson would use, and they were on so many hits in the 60s. Sometimes uncredited, but they were the go-to session guys, and often bands in those days would try and do their own recording and say, no, we want to play the instruments, instead of saying that it's us and it's not, and then they would stop having hits, and so they were hit makers. And I was thinking about that, thinking, well, there's something in there. There's a vibe that they bring.
Yeah.
Where's been really spot on with everything that they do is they just know how to make hits.
Yeah.
They're really top session guys. Robbie McIntosh just came in, and you just say to him, what kind of feel you want on that song, and he suggests different guitars. Like on Lgio, he used a classical nylon guitar, which is perfect for that song. He said, what do you think of this sound? And I said, that's absolutely brilliant.
Made from heaven. Then the whole collaborations you've got, they've all come together, haven't they? Adding their own little pinch of magic into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the instruments were really hard to find as well, like a bassoonist, for instance. I managed to get some players from the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra, and when they come down, I have a French horn, trombone, trumpet, saxophone, and I was saying to Tammy Fawn, who played the bassoon, that I like to use the real instruments over samples, and she goes, thank you for saying that. She said, because it's killing the industry.
Yeah, all the
we
samples. Yeah,
we used to use samples, but there is a real difference with the real instrument being there. You can hear the instrument, you can hear the
you can.
brass
Yeah.
or the whatever's being played. We went to Abbey Road to master the album, and Miles Sherwell, he does all the Beatles stuff, and he mastered the album, so I was so excited. And he turned around and he said, that's real strings, isn't it? And you can tell the difference.
Tell the difference, yeah. He could
Strings.
tell the difference. You see, and that makes it easy to replicate for a theatre production, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it would be a joy to see it all. It would take a lot of musicians to do it.
It would.
It's going to be really hard to play any of these tracks live. Well, I'm playing the 100 Club on the 8th in London. We're doing about 3 songs off the album, but it's the ones that lend themselves to live
Yeah.
music, like Mince Pies and Come On In and Have a Dance.
Oh, well, that's going to get everybody going, isn't it? Come in and have a dance. I mean, what an opening song, come on in, it's Christmas, let's have a dance. And then let's go through the 12 days of Christmas, with the album.
We had an adult choir in there called, they got the best name. They were called Relight My Choir.
Really?
Great.
That's a play on words as well.
But about 18 of them arrived at the studio. I didn't know how many were coming. They all had Christmas jumpers on, Christmas hats and everything. They were drinking mulled wine. And they were all dancing about in the studio while they were singing. And then they came through to the control room to listen back. And they all started singing it again.
Did you take some nice pictures of all of these?
Yeah, I got footage of because the whole recording sessions throughout the year, they were all filmed every day.
Oh, wow.
We're in the process of making a documentary, so we wanted to capture every moment.
Yeah.
But when it came to do a music video for that, I got them back, and we tried to create that old family kind of party atmosphere. So the video looks very 70s or early 80s kind of thing.
So is there a video for each song then on the album?
There is. We're putting one out every few days. Some are proper music videos, some are lyric videos.
Yeah. Wow. Again, that's another tranche of work to get through, isn't it?
Oh, it's such hard work. Yeah, I didn't realise how much work that was actually going to be. We've been so busy recently. We went over to LA for 3 days, and I said to Grace, "I've got so much to do there. How are we going to get this done?" So she said, "It's all right. We'll work on the plane. We'll work at the hotel."
Yes. Well, Grace, I hope you've got some time off now. I hope he's going to give you some time off and have a restful Christmas.
She actually took me away to Scotland for my birthday for 4 days. So we got back Saturday, and that was a break that we really needed.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we're going to have to play out too on this night as the last track. But what's in store for you next, Nick? What's next year after this now? What plans have you got?
Shall I do an Easter album? I don't know.
You haven't got 9 months for Easter.
No. Yeah, funny. I haven't really thought about that. I'm always keen to start writing and recording again, but at the moment I just concentrating on really getting this out there because like Linton Guest, who I said did the press release, he also plays on the album as well and helped me with a few bits and bobs. He said to me, "Now, you've got to put as much into promoting this album as you have recording it." And I said, "Okay, right, I will."
I know, that is the hard work. But I'll tell you what, if there is a playwright out there who would like to put this album to the theatre, I think they need to get in touch with you because I just think it would be perfect. Probably for next Christmas, it would give you a whole year to work on it, to bring the people together.
I can really see that working after you said that. But the title, it kind of draws you in then. If it was a play, I'd be like, 12 Christmas.
Yeah.
12 Christmas Kisses. What's that?
Yeah, 12. Yeah. So, Nick, we were talking about what's up for you for next year. We were talking about possibly a theatre production of the album. What else have you got in line?
It'll be time to start booking festivals and gigs for next year. So I'm sure Grace will keep me very busy in 2025. At some point, I'd love to get back recording again, but there's still lots of work to do. So
yeah. Well, we're going to play out too on this night because it's such a beautiful song. So I would just like to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for Grace as well for organising you. So all that hard work she's doing in the background, Grace.
I literally couldn't do it without her. Yeah, I'm not just saying that. She really is a very positive person in my life to make all this happen.
Yeah, and she's right behind you, which is lovely. I wish you both a really wonderful Christmas. I wish you lots of success with this album. I know it's going to fly off the shelves. So if you want to get this album and you want to play it in your car, you need to download it. But more importantly, you need to buy that album because that album cover is going to be a classic of the future. And I probably might not be around when it is, but I can assure you
I hope you will.
I hope so too, but
yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed chatting to you today.
Me too. And I think it's just a complete work of art, both musically and all the packaging and everything that you've done on that album. It's just so unique. It's such a huge amount of work, but it's very, very worthwhile, I think, going out and getting it and getting the physical album.
Thank you so much. I'm so pleased hearing the response now after all the work that we've all put into it. It's an absolute joy that it's touching some hearts.
So lots of luck to you, and let me know if this turns into a theatre production, because I'm going to be sitting in that front seat.
I certainly will. I've actually got a meeting with Linton today, and he's writing a musical at the moment. So I'll put that idea. Do you want to do this one next? You know,
There's synchronicity at work again, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly.
I hope and pray, because I think it will.
Me too. Next
Nick,
project.
God bless you. Lots of luck with the album, and keep me informed and keep that new music coming for us, won't you?
Thank you so much. That's lovely. Bye.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Look up at the sky, at the millions of lights. They're all the good people here on this night. The ones we remember, the ones who we loved, the ones who have traveled to heaven above. Down here on earth, it's a time of